So Gina Carano truly is being uncanceled, and I have even more proof than the news that we got yesterday. Yes, the news we got yesterday was extremely good, but we have even better news today, not only for Gina Carano being uncanceled, but for Gina Carano's return to Disney, return to Star Wars. I truly believe, based on the news that I'm about to show you, that Gina Carano will be returning to Star Wars as Cara Dune, maybe as a side character, maybe as a main character, because we all know that she was supposed to be the main character in the Rangers of the New Republic show, and I think without Cara Dune, no one would have any remote interest in that show. Even with Cara Dune, I wasn't going to be all that interested, but now that Gina Carano isn't in that show, now that Cara Dune isn't in that show, I have absolutely no interest at all. But if they were to bring Gina Carano back, if they were to bring Cara Dune back into the Star Wars universe and make her star in that show, the ratings would be crazy good, because even Star Wars fans who have no interest in the Rangers of the New Republic, like myself, I would watch every single episode, probably multiple times, just to show my support for Gina, just to show Disney, just to show Lucasfilm that they messed up, that they made a good decision by bringing Gina back. But why am I even talking like Cara Dune is going to be back in the Star Wars universe? I've been saying this whole time that she would never come back to Star Wars. For one, I didn't even think Disney would ever offer her the job to come back, and for two, I think even if she was offered the job, that she would never accept it. So why am I saying this now? Well, let me show you exactly why I've changed my mind, why I think Gina Carano is returning to Star Wars. So as you can see, this article from Screen Rant says The Mandalorian Gina Carano's Cara Dune figure canceled by Hasbro, and this was published on February 15th of 2021, right when she was fired from Disney. In the wake of her social media scandal, Gina Carano hasn't just lost a lot of potential spin-off series of The Mandalorian, she's also lost an action figure of Cara Dune that's been canceled by Hasbro. Carano's Cara was a former rebel shock trooper turned mercenary turned marshal of the New Republic. She was a key figure in both seasons of the Disney Plus series. It's also been reported that Carano could have starred in her own Star Wars spin-off, possibly related to Star Wars Rangers of the New Republic, which was announced by Disney in December. We all know that she was going to be the star of that show. They set that up perfectly in The Mandalorian Season 2. There's no other option for the star of that show. However, late last year, the former MMA fighter came under fire for making transphobic comments, as well as spreading election and pandemic conspiracy theories on social media. She didn't make any transphobic comments, and she didn't spread conspiracy theories. She's just a free thinker, and sometimes she thinks out loud on social media. Sometimes she questions the institutions on social media, and the fact that free thinking and questioning these big institutions gets her fired, gets her canceled, should tell you, should tell me, should tell everyone that we need to be questioning these institutions even more. Because if they had nothing to hide, if Gina Carano wasn't onto something with the stuff that she was saying, then they wouldn't have canceled her, they wouldn't have fired her. There's a much deeper reason that Gina Carano's firing. I think she was truly onto something, and spreading that information around the world is not a good thing in their eyes. So they gave her an ultimatum. She either had to stop tweeting that stuff, stop thinking freely, or be fired, and Gina chose to continue to think freely. Though many have called for Carano's firing since then, she remained associated with Lucasfilm until last week. At that point, she shared controversial posts about the Holocaust and Jeffrey Epstein. Both Lucasfilm and Carano's agency announced that they had cut ties with her, meaning she'll no longer be part of The Mandalorian or any spin-offs. But here's where it gets very interesting and why I truly think that Gina Carano is going to return to Star Wars. Now, Hasbro, the toy company that manufactures the Mandalorian action figures, has reportedly canceled the action figure of Carano's character Cara as well. So at the time, it felt like another big blow to the Gina Carano supporters when this happened, and it felt like another big blow to the Star Wars fans. Like I said yesterday, it just felt like Gina Carano was getting canceled and fired over and over again, between her firing, her cancelization of the Bear Grylls episode, the cancelization of her action figures. It just felt like blow after blow after blow, but now it seems like she's getting win after win after win. We know that yesterday her Bear Grylls episode was uncanceled, and Bear Grylls himself came out and defended her. So the three main cancelizations that Gina Carano went through was 1, her firing from Star Wars, 2, her action figures being canceled, and 3, the banning of her episode with Bear Grylls. Yesterday we got the unbanning of her episode with Bear Grylls, and now today we get this news breaking. This article from Pirates and Princesses says Gina Carano uncanceled. Back when Gina Carano was ceremoniously denounced by Lucasfilm in an anonymous trade publication statement, then fired from the company and The Mandalorian, things were taken to the next level. Not only did they fire the actress who refused to put her preferred pronouns in her Twitter bio, but they also tried to cancel every toy that reflected her character. They even went as far as to cancel the release of an episode of Running Wild with Bear Grylls that featured Gina Carano. Talk about deleting someone from the industry. But the backlash was intense, and now it seems like Hollywood is walking back some of their positions on Gina Carano. Just yesterday, our chief editor and owner of Pirates and Princesses, Geeky Sparkles, discovered Walmart was selling Gina Carano / Cara Dune Star Wars merchandise. Now National Geographic is pulling back the decision to ban the Running Wild episode featuring Gina Carano as well. And here is the picture of Walmart selling the Cara Dune action figure. And maybe you could say that Walmart wasn't supposed to do that. Maybe they put that in their store on accident, and you might be right, but I've tried to buy a Black Series figure that wasn't released yet and was on the shelves in Walmart. When I saw the Black Series figure, I knew it wasn't released yet. I took it to the register, they scanned it, and they told me they cannot sell that product yet. And I'm sure they would have the same order for the Gina Carano, for the Cara Dune action figures as well. If they weren't supposed to sell that product, then they wouldn't let it go past the register. And plus, I just think it's way too much of a coincidence for her National Geographic Running Wild with Bear Grylls episode to be uncanceled at the same time that her action figure is being sold in Walmart. At the same time that we're seeing all of these rumors about Kathleen Kennedy leaving from people like Doomcock and other other reliable sources reporting this news. We're hearing people say that Jon Favreau is taking over Lucasfilm. We're hearing people like Drunk 3PO even talk about these rumors of Gina Carano coming back. And if you don't know, Drunk 3PO is friends with Gina Carano, and I'm not saying he has any kind of insider info or anything like that. I'm just saying that if Drunk 3PO thought that it was totally ridiculous that Gina Carano would ever come back to Star Wars, he wouldn't give any attention to those rumors. He wouldn't even give them the time of day. And if he did talk about them on stream like he did, he would have just dismissed them immediately and said that they're not true, but he didn't say that. Once again, not saying that Drunk 3PO has any kind of insider info or anything like that, so don't take it that way. But like I keep saying in all of my videos, a power shift is going on at Lucasfilm right now. Just look at the current events that are happening. We have the Star Wars social media silence. We have the Legends books being re-released. We have an HD port of Republic Commando, and now we have a KOTOR remake confirmed. None of those things are the work of Kathleen Kennedy. Kathleen Kennedy would never do any of those things. That's Jon Favreau, or at least a different president from Kathleen Kennedy. Someone else is in charge. And you pile all that on top of the fact that Gina Carano action figures are back in stores. Gina Carano's episode of Running Wild with Bear Grylls is uncanceled. It's back on the air. All of this stuff put together just doesn't seem like Lucasfilm. So it's either a power shift is going on, either Kathleen Kennedy is no longer in power, or maybe Lucasfilm and Disney and Kathleen Kennedy are just learning what the fans truly want. Maybe they realize that in the fans' head, what sells to the fans like us, the diehard Star Wars fans, isn't your agenda. What sells to fans like us, what sells to true Star Wars fans, is just storytelling, is just narrative. And we also want all of your employees, we want everyone working on Star Wars, actors, actresses, directors, writers. We want all of them to be able to think freely and speak their mind on social media without getting canceled or fired. So it's either Kathleen Kennedy is learning, Disney is learning, and Lucasfilm is learning how to treat the fans, how to treat their employees, or there's a major power shift going on, and I'm leaning towards a power shift. I don't think Kathleen Kennedy will ever change her ways. So I think she's out. Whether or not Jon Favreau is the new president, there's no way I can know that. I'm just assuming that Jon Favreau will be the obvious choice. But once again, it's up to Jon Favreau whether or not he wants to take that position. But let me know what you guys think about this entire situation. Do you think this means that Gina Carano is returning to Star Wars? Because I truly do. I don't think that her toys would be back in stores. I don't think National Geographic would unban her episode unless she was being uncanceled, unless she was being rehired to Disney. But maybe I'm being crazy. Maybe I'm being overly dramatic. Let me know if I am in the comments, and let me know why you think that. If you want to support the channel, check out all the new merch that I just dropped. The link to that will be in the description. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. If you want to follow me on Twitter or join the Discord, both of those links will be in the description as well. But thank you for watching the video, and I hope to see you in the next one.